All right, so we're underneath the 80 series here, and I've got an angle finder on the drive shaft. And this angle finder is telling me that I've got a 10-degree angle on the drive shaft tubing itself. I've also used the angle finder to take the angle of the flange coming off the transfer case. I've also taken the angle off of the rear pinion flange, and between the two, we're about 5.5 degrees difference. It needs to be 1 to 3 to prevent vibrations, and I've definitely been getting some vibrations. So as you can see here, we're at 10. I may end up needing a dual cardan shaft, but we're gonna see when the time comes. Also, I've noticed that this slip yoke has come out a little bit further than I want, and that's because I've installed these adjustable Ironman lower control arms. And here you can kind of see one of the SLE adjustable kits already installed. So this one has the threaded portion that we welded on, and I'm just doing one at a time. So now we're gonna remove on taking this stock one out, and then we're gonna bring it into our bench in the garage and then modify it. The driver's side is a little tricky because you need to lower this load sensing proportioning valve. There's 4 bolts up here to get it off, and it's kind of tough to get to. The reason is because this bolt head was on this side originally. I've changed it to where if I need to take this off, now I have the nut on this side because it contacts here and you have to lower this in order to get that bolt off. I've done the same on the axle side and moving this bolt over to here because I had to take a crowbar in order to get enough leverage to put this coil in a place where the bolt would come out. Once we get this modified, it'll be just like this one, and then we can use the left-handed and right-handed threads to lengthen or shorten this adjustable link. That'll allow for our pinion angle to go up or down, and that'll fix this pinion angle which is off. It'll also bring this slip yoke a little bit further up, which is where we need to be. In short, this rear pinion flange is pointed too low. Usually when you lift these, it's going to be pointed too high because the whole axle comes this way and the pinion gets pointed up when you lift the truck. We're experiencing a different issue because we've used these adjustable links in order to get enough room in the wheel well for these 42s. So it's kind of a unique situation here, but this is an awesome kit by SLE. I've finished this side and it is definitely in better shape now that I'm able to adjust it. I wanted to buy the Ironman upper adjustable links, but they didn't have them in stock. SLE did, and it was actually less money. This side's gonna be a lot easier because we can get an impact on both these and just zip it out really quick. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so now we have this on our bench. This is the part from SLE Off-Road. So this has a little provision in the middle for a wrench, and then it has a left-handed thread as I'm tightening and it's getting looser, and then it has a regular right-handed thread. So this is going to get welded onto this piece here. But first we need to measure before we cut. So I'm gonna take a measurement from end to end, and just like the last one, we've got 18 and 1/16 inches. So we need to keep that measurement in mind. And what we're gonna be doing is threading these all the way in. Since we know that the total length is 18 and 1/16 inch, we know that we need 9 and 1/32 as our center line. So I'm just gonna mark, and this doesn't have to be exact. I'm gonna mark with a paint pen just here in the middle so we know where our center is. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just for reference. Now we can put this up to it and put the provision for the wrench close to our center line, and then we can mark where we're going to cut. Now this is the area where this will be slipping over. This is a hollowed out piece of tubing here, so it's going to slip onto this part, and we're gonna weld at a 45-degree angle right here. So I'm gonna mark with my paint pen where this needs to be cut on both ends. So now we can put this piece in our vise over here, and then we'll go ahead and cut this center section out. All right, so we've got this upper link in our vise. I'm gonna use an angle finder to just try and get it as straight as possible. Doesn't have to be, but I wanna make a semi-clean cut. And we're at 1/10 of a degree, so that'll work for me. We'll grab the portaband and get cutting where we made our mark. And we've used our angle finder, so we're right at 0 degrees. Go ahead and cut this side. and there's that side done. So something that I noticed in the last one, you can kind of see here, there's a little bit of a ribbing inside there, and that's not going to allow it to press on easily. So I'm going to take a file and just file that down so that this will slip on to the sleeve adjustable piece. So we're just taking our file and filing down that inner ribbing so that we can just press it on. We're not going to press it, we're just going to use a hammer. So that should be good to go now. So that's fully seated on there. Now we're going to just take a wire wheel, since we're going to be welding on this surface here, and remove all of this paint. So there's a ton of rust and corrosion on this whole thing. We're just trying to get this area here cleaned up so we can weld to it. So we'll move on to the next side. And now we'll just come in here with our MIG welder and weld these pieces together. So we just laid down a root pass and then did a second pass, and we all know this channel ain't about pretty welds, but that'll hold. So we're gonna take this off and put it on the ground, hit it with some bed liner, and just be done with it. We just really want the functionality of having this be adjustable so we can get our pinion angle right, so we don't have any more vibrations. So now we've got it all painted with some bed liner, and this is probably, in my opinion, one of the more important, if not the most important step, is to add some anti-seize to these threads here. So we're just going to remove this side of the link and coat it with some copper anti-seize, because we don't want these threads gumming up or getting water, corrosion, which they will, and then not being able to use the adjustable function. So just got some regular copper anti-seize here, and we're going to take a decent amount. There's going to be some excess anti-seize that comes out as I'm threading this back into the piece of tubing, but that's fine. We'll just clean that up. We want to make sure that we have enough so that we're able to get it back out again if we need to, or just make adjustments on the fly. Now we can go ahead and start threading this back in. This is the left-handed thread, so we're lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. Now that we've got our anti-seize on all of the threads, we'll just measure, and we are long, so that means that we need to shorten this. So we'll loosen the lock nuts on each side, and then you'll be able to see the function of this here. I've already gone ahead and made sure that it's an equal number of threads on each side, so one side isn't getting jealous of the other. And we're just going to rotate this, which is shortening it right now because we need to get back to 18 and 1/16 inch length. See how we're looking. All right, so 18 and 1/16. We are now ready to go install this underneath the truck. All right, so we've removed the drive shaft and we've lengthened each of these adjustables to where we need them, because on this side, the pinion side of the axle, we're at 0.7 or 0.8 is what I've been getting consistently. And on this side, we're getting about 0.7 degrees as well. So now we're real close, if not dead on, and we can reinstall our drive shaft and check for vibrations. Well, just took it for a drive on the highway, and vibrations are significantly lower, which is great. So definitely recommend this kit from Sleeve if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you want to save a little bit of cash. I think they have the upper control arms, the lower control arms, everything, as well as panhards and all that. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and we'll see you in the next one.